Every time someone enters a casino, they're hoping to win. Some people do, while others don't, but a few are truly special. Dominic LoRiggio, known as the Dominator and the Man with the Golden Arm, is one of those people. He didn't just rely on luck, he learned how to control the dice in the game of craps. He has a passion for breaking the rules, especially the laws of physics. It just came naturally to him. Casinos claim it's impossible, but at the craps table, he has a special touch, like everything he touches turns to gold. This is the true story of a software engineer who became known as the Dominator. The Dominator is known as the best dice controller in the world even today. He's a bold player at the craps tables, aiming for big wins, hoping the casinos won't stop him. In 1997, a lot was happening around the world. Titanic was smashing box office records, and Mike Tyson made news for biting Evander Holyfield's ear during their fight. Meanwhile, Princess Diana sadly died in a car crash in Paris, and people everywhere mourned her loss. The US also hosted the Women's World Cup, which boosted the popularity of women's soccer. But while everyone was caught up in these big stories, Dominic LoRiggio quietly made waves in Atlantic City. Far from the headlines and drama, Dominic was creating his own exciting story in the world of craps. Who exactly is this guy? Was he sent from another world, or is he just a remarkable figure in the realm of casinos? In the USA during the 1950s, a time of significant change and opportunity, Dom was living an ordinary life as an office clerk. But everything shifted dramatically when he discovered the game of craps. This wasn't just any discovery, it was a turning point that set him on an entirely new path. In a world where most people look to mentors and experts for guidance, Dom took a different route. While others sought out experienced professionals to learn from, Dom taught himself everything about craps. He immersed himself in books, practiced relentlessly, and honed his skills on his own. He didn't need a mentor to show him the ropes, he carved out his path to mastery. Every weekend, Dominic would leave his home in New York City and head to Atlantic City, where he became a familiar face at the casinos. For over a decade, this software engineer, who spent his weekdays designing and selling business software, lived for the thrill of gambling. Blackjack was his game, and his skill at counting cards made him a serious player. The casinos were not making it easy. As shuffle machines and new rules were introduced and games became more complex with multiple decks, Dominic found it increasingly difficult to gain an edge. Sometimes in life, you face moments when you want to quit, and other times you're driven to push forward. Dominic LoRiggio found himself at such a crossroads. He was torn between his passion for casinos and the need to find a new path. But Dominic had a vision of who he wanted to be, even if he wasn't quite sure of his identity at that moment. Many advantage players rely on a set of skills to beat the odds, but Dominic was exceptional. His talent was not just in playing, but in how he harnessed his energy and focus. One day, as he passed by a craps table, the loud cheers and excitement drew him in. The atmosphere was electrifying, with players celebrating together in a way that only craps could inspire. At that moment, Dominic saw a reflection of his drive and energy. Craps wasn't just a game, it was a symbol of his determination and passion. Even with this vibrant environment all around him, he remained focused and undistracted. Craps was not just a game, but a reflection of his drive and dedication. He took a closer look at the game of craps, which he had never really paid much attention to before. In games of chance, some people pick up the dice and throw them, while others use special techniques. This difference got him interested. What made craps unique was that players could directly affect the game by throwing the dice. Unlike other games like blackjack or roulette, where you don't control what happens, in craps, how you throw the dice can change the results. Dominic saw this as a chance to get an edge over the casino. He decided to learn everything he could about controlling the dice. He bought every book on craps he could find and knew he needed to practice a lot. For Dominic, this was a big opportunity, and he was ready to take it. Dominic's journey to becoming a top craps player was a natural step. He knew that just throwing dice wasn't enough. He needed to understand the whole game, how to play it, and what kinds of bets you can make as a gambler. Well, for him, he prefers not to be called a gambler. Dominic was determined to get good at throwing dice. He believed that if he could control how the dice land, he could win big. He realized that understanding science and math was important because they help control how things happen. So he decided to use his knowledge to get better at the game. Even though his friends thought he was wasting his time, Dominic stayed motivated. He looked up to Chris Policki, a mechanical engineer from Detroit. Policki spent 3 years studying how dice move and figured out a way to control how they land. His hard work and dedication inspired Dominic to keep trying and believe that controlling dice was possible with the right skills and effort. For Chris Policki, the journey began with years of experimenting and studying dice through the lens of physics. He spent countless hours developing a method to control how dice land, believing that dice follow natural rules that can be understood and used to your advantage. Finally, he perfected his technique and started teaching others. Dominic LoRiggio, though initially skeptical, was intrigued by the idea. They say sometimes you need to invest more to potentially earn more. Driven by this belief, Dominic decided to spend $595 on a 2-day seminar with Policki. At the seminar, Policki addressed the group and acknowledged their doubts. Mastering the technique would require months or even years of hard work, with no guarantees of success. But for those who were committed and willing to put in the effort, the results could be impressive. Policki's method focuses on controlling how the dice are thrown to make their landing more predictable. In craps, the first roll, called the come-out roll, determines the start of the game. Rolling a 7 or 11 means you win, while rolling a 2, 3, or 12 means you lose. The goal is to hit a point number, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10, and then roll that number again before rolling a 7. Controlling the dice, you aim to avoid rolling a 7, which has the most possible outcomes. As Dominic listens and observes, he feels a mix of excitement and skepticism, wondering if this technique might finally give him the edge he's been searching for. There are secrets to every success in life, and Chris Policki has discovered one for dice control. His technique focuses on every detail of the throw, from how you grip the dice to how you set them before launching. The goal is to throw the dice at a 45-degree angle so they hit the back wall with just enough force to minimize their movement. This precision can potentially sway the outcome. Dominic decides to give it a try. After all, there's no harm in trying, they say. He feels more confident when his arm handles most of the throw while his fingers carefully guide the dice. Even though he's just starting and is a bit surprised by how intricate it all is, he's fascinated by the game's deep history, stretching back to ancient times when dice were used for fortune-telling. Policki makes it clear that his method isn't cheating. There are no specific casino rules about how dice should be thrown, only that they must hit the back wall. But Policki's seminars also serve another purpose. He's scouting for talent for his team, Rosebud. Dominic catches his eye as a promising recruit. By spring 1999, Dominic, who has always been passionate about gambling, is fully committed to mastering craps. He's not just playing for fun, he's working hard to become an advantage player with a strategic edge. Though he was surprised by the complexity of the technique, Policki's expert guidance shows Dominic that he has real potential to succeed. Now that Dominic and Chris Policki have grown close, almost like best friends, they dive deep into the secrets of dice control. Their one-on-one sessions are where Dominic learns the magic of mastering the dice, setting them up, gripping them just right, and delivering the perfect throw. First, Dominic discovers the art of setting the dice. This step is all about arranging the dice in a special way to help roll the numbers he wants. For the initial roll, called the come-out roll, he uses a set that boosts his chances of rolling a 7. During the rest of the game, he switches to other sets to avoid rolling a 7. Next, Dominic focuses on his grip. This part is crucial for controlling how the dice land. Chris helps Dominic perfect his grip, making sure it's precise and ready for action, Rosebud, and become an expert dice controller. Dominic also works on his arm swing. While the grip and setting are important, the real challenge lies in the throw. Dominic learns to bend his arm at the elbow and swing it smoothly in a big 180-degree arc from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Between sessions with Chris, Dominic puts in serious practice. He dedicates 6 to 8 months, spending 2 to 3 hours every day after work and on weekends, honing his skills at his practice station. As Dominic pieces it all together, he sets the dice, grips them gently, and throws them with just the right speed and spin. The goal is to make the dice land softly and stop perfectly before hitting the back wall. If he can master this, he could gain the edge needed to win big. If the throw still feels off, it's a sign Dominic might be too tense. A relaxed, controlled throw could be the key to turning the game in his favor. In the spring of 1999, Dominic LoRiggio was on top of his game. Known as the Dominator, he had moved beyond ordinary gambling to become a skilled advantage player. He was a key member of Pi's elite group, enjoying the high life that came with his reputation. However, as time went on, Dominic began to feel restricted by Pi's strict rules, which were starting to limit his innovative approach to the game. But just when Dominic thought his options were running out, a new opportunity came knocking. Frank Scobb, a well-known expert in dice control, reached out with an exciting offer. Frank was famous for pushing boundaries in the gambling world, and he wanted Dominic to join him in creating a new team. Teaming up with Frank was exactly what Dominic needed. With Golden Touch, Dominic was able to break free from the constraints of Pi's rules and fully unleash his skills. As part of this new team, Dominic embraced the chance to reinvent his approach to the game. Golden Touch became known for its daring bets and impressive victories. Dominic's partnership with Frank marked a major turning point. No longer confined by old restrictions, he was now setting new standards in the world of dice control, proving that sometimes a fresh start is all you need to achieve even greater success. As Dominic LoRiggio and Frank Scobb's Golden Touch team began to win big, they caught the casino's attention. The casinos, feeling the heat from Dominic and Frank's winning streak, tried everything they could to throw them off their game. Despite the pressure, Dominic and Frank didn't let it shake their confidence. They played with even more skill and focus, making smart decisions that kept their winning streak alive. Even though the casinos kept trying to distract him and disrupt his game, Dominic stayed sharp and determined. One standout moment in Dominic's career was a legendary craps roll that truly highlighted his peak performance. With confidence and a flair for showmanship, he entertained the crowd as he demonstrated his precise dice control. Despite some skepticism from the stickman, Dominic took a daring gamble on a hard 10 and won a massive $33,000. This bold move solidified his status as a craps legend. Dominic LoRiggio's incredible dice control earned him fame and respect around the globe. He wasn't just another gambler, he was hailed as one of the top dice controllers in the world. His journey from an average player to a top-tier craps expert showcases his dedication, skill, and determination. Soaring through the casino scene, Dom made significant wins in Las Vegas and Mississippi with his exceptional dice skills. He became well known for his ability to control the dice and amass a fortune, all while staying true to fair play. His rise in the gambling world highlights not only his talent but also his commitment to mastering his craft. But his success didn't go unnoticed. Casino officials eventually figured out his techniques and slapped him with a ban from Las Vegas casinos. One might think this was the end of the road for Dom, but he wasn't about to let it stop him. Instead of seeing it as a setback, Dom saw an opportunity. He decided to turn his challenge into a new venture by starting a school to teach others how to master dice control, just like he had. Dom didn't just set up a classroom, he went all in. He teamed up with Frank Scobb to launch the Golden Arm Touch seminars, which quickly became popular. These seminars attracted eager students who wanted to learn the art of dice control from the best. Dom's teachings were not just about winning, but about mastering a skill that could change the way people played. He also penned books on his techniques and founded Golden Touch Craps, a company dedicated to advanced dice strategies. Even though he couldn't hit the Las Vegas tables anymore, Dom's influence continued to grow. His story isn't just about overcoming obstacles, but using them as stepping stones. Dom turned a casino ban into a platform for teaching and influencing the gambling world. His legacy lives on through his school, seminars, and books, proving that even when faced with challenges, there's always a way to keep moving forward and make a big impact. And that's a wrap on the amazing journey of Dominic LoRiggio. From rising as a top dice controller to facing bans from major casinos, his story is one of remarkable skill and determination. If you enjoyed diving into Dom's world of high-stakes craps and learning about his incredible feats, make sure to hit that like button to show your support. We're curious about your thoughts. Do you believe casinos ban big winners to keep the odds in their favor? Share your opinions and insights in the comments below.